What is up?
Button. Hit the subscribe button. We're now over 6,000.
Nah, that's not me. Yeah. Anyway, sort of like play a little guitar tonight. Thankful to finally have 100 subscribers, and now I have 109 subscribers. Maybe tonight I can get to 111. Let's see. Alright, I'm gonna jam around on just gonna play some random tracks tonight. I'm gonna try and pick some tracks that I've never played before. Sort of be spontaneous enough. Feel like playing a little lo-fi tonight, maybe. Let's see if we got anything new on one of these lovely lo-fi channels. Or maybe we'll just try a new channel. All these are labeled as free. But I don't know. I think I've heard this one. Yeah, this is a nice track right here. Let's do this. More volume. How's everybody doing? Thank you, Eli. Can I get a subscribe, Eli? I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna try to do. If I don't have a gig on a Saturday night, I'm gonna do YouTube lives on Saturday night. Just some little improv stuff. And then of course Pam and Mary are here, and they're always and Donnie. What's up, Donnie? And Newtster. It's very hard for me to read the tiny letters on my small phone screen, but I'm trying, you know. Okay, what's next? So some of these tracks I may have heard before, and some I don't. When I mostly play the acoustic guitar. I do a lot of acoustic gigs around town, around the Memphis with Amber McCain, and when I just get on here to just jam around or whatever, I like to just play different styles of music and try to find new stuff that I've never heard before, and then just kind of vibe to it and see what comes out. And then it's nice and spontaneous, you know? like it. Anyway, wow, I got 14 people here. That's amazing. That's amazing to me. That I can sit here in my little jam room with a few guitars and an iPhone and connect with 14 people from 60 years old, so like this whole technology thing is kind of mind blowing to me because I grew up in a time with phones with dials on them where you gotta dial the number and shit like that, and just it's amazing. Technology is amazing when it works right. I don't even know if it's working right now. My last YouTube live video seemed to have a lot of clicks in it, little internet flubs or something. Is it working good? That's what I want to know. You hear that in there? Is that cool little thing in there? That's a cool little. Sometimes it's cool to like sing a line before you try to play it, because then. I don't even know what I'm singing. I'm just making shit up as I go. But like, if you sing a line and then try to play it, then it's more vocal, So. What? I gotta back this track up one more time and save it, because I like that one. Let's see, from the channel called Four Souls. Well, that's worth a subscribe right there. See, I just subscribed to somebody's YouTube channel called Four Souls, and the track is called Find Me. But I had to back up so I can go ahead and save it to one of my playlists, because I like that. to also when I'm freestyling or whatever, I like to what's up, Philippines? I was gonna say hi to you, but I'm afraid I would mess up the pronunciation. But I do have some Facebook friends from the Philippines. Anyway, so when I'm improvising, sometimes I like to force myself to practice certain things, like certain techniques or whatever. But most importantly, to have space between your phrases so they're more like phrases. Like when we talk, we have sentences, sayings, catchphrases, and all kinds of different things in the language or whatever. When we play, we gotta have that punctuation too. The spaces in between are like breath in a song, you know? Fly, you know. Yeah, see, that's vibey. What is this one? Storytelling type beat. I've heard this one before. Hell, I don't know. Yeah. Appreciate that, Mary. Appreciate that. I might have gained a few subscribers tonight. Maybe. Like I said, my goal for tonight was to get on here and get 2 subscribers. That would get me to a nice even 111. There's just something about that number, 111 and 3. It's like the Trinity. But it's like all points of the Trinity, all points of the triangle. it switched up a little bit there. It sounds like some backwards tracking. That's cool. It almost sounded like it might have been reversed. Here's an interesting fact that maybe some of you don't know, but I'm gonna try and talk a little bit more on these YouTube videos too, because that seems to be the format on YouTube. So people stay engaged or whatever. So I'm just not just some old dude playing guitar, but I actually talk and read the comments and stuff if I can or whatever. But the song by Jimi Hendrix, "Are You Experienced?" The drums and the guitar solo are reversed. They're backwards, and that's why the drums sound weird. That's why they're going. And also the solo in that song is backwards. So the next time you listen to the song "Are You Experienced" by Jimi Hendrix, listen to it and you'll be like, ah, wow, I can hear it. This one's called Company. It's a Erykah Badu Sade type beat from the channel Avita's Beats. I've never heard it before, so let's vibe to it. Cleo Soul Erykah Badu type beat from the channel Four Souls. And this is the channel I just subscribed to, so I've never heard this either.
Scotty MVP of the team.
pentatonic fun. Just doing a little doodling. Doodling and noodling. Take me to another place, take me to another town where I can fly away. That's vibey. I'm practicing tonight in my freestyle improvisational. I'm trying to do a lot of punctuation and make my phrases more musical and more linguistic, where they have, where you have actual pauses for the causes. Ooh, I like that. to that one. That was nice. We're all gonna go take a little trip. My dogs are rubbing up against me right now. They're trying to get my attention. We're all gonna take a little trip in our skyrocket between the eye sockets. Levitate, medicate. I love the sound of Rhodes piano kind of stuff. That's why I just love jamming to this type of stuff right here. Wow, I have 28 people here. That's insane. That's the most people I've ever had on a live stream on YouTube. By far. That's amazing. Thank you. Hit the like button. Tell me where you're from. All that good stuff. Old Fred says, Santana vibes. We can do some Santana vibes. Santana is probably one of my top 5 influences. I always said my top 5 influences as a guitar player. Santana has always been in there, as well as David Gilmour, of course Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and Eric Gales, believe it or not. Eric Gales I saw him when he was 15 when I first came to Memphis, Tennessee. And he totally changed the way I played guitar, Eric Gales. You know, I could just tell he was in the flow with his stuff. He didn't play the stuff the same every time. He was in the flow zone at a very young age, you know? I just recently got this guitar a couple of months ago. I mainly play Stratocasters, as you can see. I have lots of lovely Strats back here. And a Tele. I do a lot of acoustic gigs also. I'm a gigging musician right now, but my only gigs right now are acoustic, which is good because playing acoustic and doing 4-hour gigs playing an acoustic will definitely lend to your. It's like it builds strength and stamina and rhythm and stuff to do the acoustic gigs. So that when you just noodle around like I'm doing right now, freestyling or whatever, then it becomes just way better. Everything lends to everything else in a way. Just noodling around. All right, we've done a whole bunch of that type of stuff. I think we're gonna do something else, but let's see here. What else? Every time another track comes on, I just feel it. That sounds nice to me right there. Yeah, that's vibey right there. All right. Dang, I've had over 20 viewers for quite a long time. I think that's really cool. But if y'all could excuse me for about 2 minutes, let me go use my faculties. We'll call it nature calls. Sometimes you just gotta go outside and take a country piss. So I'll be back in about 2 minutes. I'm trying to stay on here for an hour. I just went and let my dogs out too, so and I still have 25 people here. That's amazing. I played a bunch of this type of stuff, and I'm gonna totally flip the script now and maybe play a little bit of blues or maybe I don't know. Let's see what happens here. I mean, almost everything I play is somewhat influenced by blues in a way, I suppose. But I wanted to play something else. We're just gonna go to a trusty old. No, let's go to this new one. The new stuff. Let's see what happens here with these newer playlists I like. Okay. Well, it's not really blues. Like that. I just added this. This is a fairly new track. I played it maybe I think 3 times so far. This is from an actual backing track channel. It's also free for fair use music. I'm trying to stick to the free for fair use music tonight, and there's one artist by the name of Paul Collier that I love to play over his music. He plays a lot of it. It's just music. It's just piano and strings and stuff, and there's no bass lines or drums or anything going on, and it's music with real breath and stuff. And unfortunately, it's not, I would get demonetized, which I'm not monetized yet anyway, so like it would really matter. I might go ahead and do one of those to close out the live stream tonight. I've been playing a lot of broken phrases tonight on purpose because tonight's objective was to practice improvisation guitar with lots of spaces in between, punctuated, because you can play and just play and run after run after run, but the music will the guitar phrasing, especially guitar, like it just speaks more when you have the punctuation in it. punctuation will make your shit vibier, and it'll make you a better musician. Because you just can't be going 90 to nothing at all time. You gotta play within the song. Even if it's an instrumental song, you still have to play within the song. There has to be some kind of like a theme, a melody, and it has to speak. It has to convey an emotion. That's what music is. Music is the language of emotion. And then sometimes you can just, drone out. Play a drone, and, you can come up with ideas there, Because if it's just like a solid drone, which this one is in D, almost any mode that you play, like listen to all the different emotions you can get off of. You can get minor sounding stuff. All right, looks like I've almost reached my hour. I've dropped below 20 viewers, but how impressive it is I'm so grateful that tonight I had a pretty decent group in here. It looked like at times I had close to 30 people, and I managed to keep 20 viewers on here for a good amount of time with only 100 or so subscribers that I have. I definitely perform better on here than I do on Facebook, where I have 1,000 followers, and you know, although the live streams do tend to get a couple hundred views, it seems like I never have more than like 5 people on at a time. Like they're there and gone. I think YouTube seems to favor more longer content, and I like long content because I just love to play guitar. I'm OG Scotty P. That stands for old guitarist, if you know what I mean. So if any new people are watching right now, please give me a subscribe, and I'll try to, as long as I don't have a gig, I'll be here every Saturday. And if I start doing good, I'll maybe start adding in Wednesday, because I did pretty good when I did this on a Wednesday. So I really appreciate all you guys. You just don't know how much, especially people that have followed me for a long time and probably share stuff, man. It's good to share stuff, man. So at the end of every stream, I always like to pick a song as like a swan song for the night. So the swan song for tonight shall be, let's go with this, whatever this is. appreciate y'all. Wow, I can't leave with 28 viewers. Like, if y'all really want me to leave, you're gonna have to do better. Like, drop the view count. All right, that's all, folks, y'all. That was an hour and 3 minutes. I'm all done now. Catch me on Facebook tomorrow. I'll be on Facebook Live tomorrow. But you'll have to look me up under the same name and same spelling as this channel if you want to find me there. I do Facebook Lives too, and they tend to be even a little longer. Like I'll be on there hour and a half usually. But I appreciate y'all. Thank you. God bless y'all. Play up, play on, y'all. Bye-bye.